Hello everyone, welcome back to Code Amigo. This is the part 2 of our Linux command series where we will continue exploring more essential commands to level up your skills. Let's dive straight in. So in last part we seen some commands. In that we seen cat command. What is cat command? So it's just the prints whatever the content available in file, right? So let's explore more use cases with cat command. Now let's see the cat command. If I just use cat and enter, what it do is just waiting for our input. Let's add some content and enter. What it do is immediately give the output as the same as the input whatever we given. See, now to quit from this we need to press Ctrl D, right? So basically it do nothing. It takes the inputs and gives the input as the output immediately. Now let's see how to redirect the output to some file. We seen we created file by using gedit. So what if I want to create some file using with cat command? So cat, okay, cat, and we need to give the symbol to some file name, list one. See, it's waiting for our input. Let me give some inputs like here, banana, apple, and clicking Control D, quit. See, now if you see, new file got created as a list one. Let's see the content in file cat list one. If you notice, whatever the input we given stored into a file. Now let's create new file like list 2. In list 2 I'm giving something. Okay, so now I have two files, list 1 and list 2. Now I'm adding content into same existing file using like cat list 1 arrow list 1. I'm giving content like peach, grape, orange, and Control D. If I see the data in that particular file, if you notice it has been replaced with the earlier one. Earlier one we given like pear, banana, apple. Now we given peach, grape, orange. So it got replaced. But I don't want to replace it. Instead, I want to append into the file. How I can do that? Cat, okay, double arrows to list one. Now, if you add new data like pear, banana, apple, and Control D, if you see the content, now you notice that it got appended into the file, right? Now, what I want to do, I want to create new file which appending the data which available in list 1 and list 2. Here we have two files, right? Now what I want to do, I want to create new file with content from both files. How I can do that? Cat list 1, list 2, two files to the new file which is big list. If you notice, big list are created with content from both files. This is how we can combine the files. Now there is one another command which is called as sort. Okay, so how sort works? For example, I just entered sort. Now it's waiting for my inputs. I'm giving some inputs like dog, cat, bird, ape, and pressing Ctrl D. If you notice, it got immediately printed with the output by sorting into alphabetical manner. Sort works, sort alphabetically or numerically sorts a list. Okay. Now what I want to do, here we are entering the data manually. Instead, I want to pass the data from some file. As we see, we have files like list 1, list 2, and big list. For example, let's see the data in big list. Here it is. Now I want to sort the data in this particular file. Okay, what I can do? Sort. So now, earlier we used like greater than, but So what it indicates? It indicates output to some file. But now what we are trying to do, we have to pass the data into sort so that it can sort. So for that, less than sort less than I'm giving data from big list. See what it did. It sorted and just given the output. Fine. Now, but I want the data in file itself as a sorted. For that one, what we can do? Sort less than big list. So whatever the data got sorted, we have to give a output to the some new file, like sorted list, so that whatever the data sorted goes into sorted list file, which is new file. Okay. Now let's see if is there any other ways to do the sorting, right? The other way to do sorting is by using or combining the commands. Here for combining the commands we can use the pipes. Let's see one example to understand. Cat big list, what it will do basically, cat big list gives the out content into our command prompt or terminal. So now pipe, okay, by using pipe, what I am giving, cat big list pipe sort. See if you notice, whatever the data coming from big list got sorted, so that pipe, by using pipe command you can combine multiple commands. Let's do one thing. In previous video we seen the grep command. What is grep command? To search the content in file. Now what I want to do, I want to combine with grep command. So cat big list grep, let's find the matchings like BA. See if you notice the two matchings, banana and ball, right? Let's see, let's do one more example. Here what I want to do is, here I have list 1 file, list 2 file. So in both list both files, I want to search for the matching words which is like BA and sort the result which is like combination, right? Let's see, cat list 1, list 2, pipe, grep. So what is the grepping? BA. Now sort. See now this is the output. So what basically happening? First cat list 1 list 2, it gives one output which is the content from both files, that goes as an input to the grep command. So what grep command doing is searching for the matching words which is like BA. Now whatever the output came for this one going as an input into the sort command, and it's got sorting. That how pipes works. Okay, by pipes, by combining the multiple commands, one output of one command goes as input to the next command, and output of that command goes to the input as a next command. Okay. Now let's see another command, like which is using the wildcards. Okay, what is wildcards? So for example, you see that ls command, you know, in ls command what it is giving, it is giving the all files located in particular directory, but I want to search for the specific files which is matching with some uh, characters of the file. For example, here I have like list 1, list 2, and also I have like big list and s list. But what I want to find, I want only the list of files which matching like list. After list it can be anything, but not before list. For example, like ls list star. So what it do, it gives only two files like list 1 and list 2. That means after list matching word, whatever the content is available for the file name, it consider all because of star, and it will print those file names. We can use any, like star is not something like you can use only at the suffix, you can use as prefix also, like star list. What it gives like big list and S list, because list 1 list 2 won't match. Now there is one another wildcard which is question mark. How this works? For example, question mark and list. See what you notice, it will work like only for the matching exactly one character. That means if you use question mark before the list, it will only consider only one character. If you notice here, there is big list, but big list before big list it has big three characters. For S list there is only one character, so only this file set gives as a output for ls question mark list. That means which will the character question mark will match exactly one character. So let's see some other commands with ls hyphen l. See how it's printed. It's given some more details like recent time update of the file, size of the file, and I will discuss separately about these rows, these columns. Okay, so ls hyphen l give more details of the files. Now if I want to sort the files based on the timing, what I can do, lt. So based on time this will get sort. See, if you see, like it got sorted based on the timing. Now I want to sort in reverse order, like latest should be last and older should be first. For that one I can do ls lt and r, which is reverse, so that the latest will be the at end. Now let's discuss regarding these columns, right? So what are these columns? These columns are actually access rights. Okay, let's see here. If you notice this one, the first string which is with characters, that is 10 10 symbol string actually. So for each one there is some meaning. For example, see, if you notice there is difference between these two also. Let's discuss this one. First character or symbol which is D, that indicates it's a directory or folder. You know, right? Directory 1, here if you see here, directory 1 is the folder. So this D indicates it is a folder or directory. If there is nothing, that means it's a file. Okay. Now remaining 9 symbols. Let's discuss about 3. If you notice 3, these 3 are almost same, right? But what is the difference? Even these last 3 also can be same, rwx. So what is difference between each 3? That means we can divide it into 3 groups, 1, 2 and 3, right? The first group indicates permissions for the owner or user. For example, here consider you are the user or owner of the file, you created the file. So the permission indicates R means read, W means write or edit pumps, and X means execute pumps. Okay, same for all other groups. RWX means read, read, change permissions, and also the execute permissions. What is the second group indicates? Second group indicates it's a group of other users. For example, you are in a team, you created the file. That means you are the owner of that particular file. This permission indicates for the permissions for the other users in your team. And last 3 indicates permissions for the other users. Other users means outside of your team or maybe some stranger. So that means RWX indicates you can read the file, execute the file and edit the file. Same for your users from your group. They can read the file. I mean here in this case it's a folder. So that means they can, so that means the first 3 indicates permissions for yourself. For example, here it is for the directory. Let's see how for the directory how it works. R, that means you can list the files in the directory. W, that means you can delete files or move files from that directory or to that directory. X means the right to access files in the directory. That means in that particular directory you can read the files. Same for the group from your user. They can read, they can update or remove the files or move the files, or they can access the files in that particular directory. Here for last group or strangers, like if you see R dash X, R means they can list the files in that particular directory. X means they can access the files in the directory. W, there is no W, that means they don't have the permissions to delete the files or move the files into that particular directory. Same applicable for the files also. In files, if you see, notice here, it will be first character should be hyphen. That means it's a file. So as a owner, you have the permissions to read the file. Also, you have permissions to write or edit the file, but you don't have the permissions to execute a file. Okay. Same for group of other users from your team. So the third one, for other users, there is only permissions to read the file, but they don't have the permissions to write or update the file or also execute the file. Now, if I want to change those permissions, how I can do that, right? So for that one, command is chmod. Okay, that means changing a file mode. Now, how I can do that? So if I want to change permissions for the specific group, like for example here user, that means owner. For owner, if I want to change the permissions, how I can do? If I want to change permissions for the next, which is group, how I can do? The next for other, third thing is for others, how I can do? If I want to give permission same for all users, how I can do that, right? Let's see. Now what I am doing, let's see, cat list 2. I have file, I'm able to read the file. Okay, I'm the owner of the user of the file, so I can read the file. Now I am changing the permissions to that particular file. Chmod to which user? Myself, like user, whoever the owner of the file. That means u symbol. Then hyphen, that means removing, that means minus. What are the permission? I'm removing whole permission, all permissions, like read permissions, write permissions, and execute permissions. I'm removing all. For which file? List 1. Now I removed. Okay, see, if once I removed, if you notice here, it's changed, it got logged, right? Now let me try to access the file. It shows like permission denied. Now if I want to add back the permissions, what I can do? Chmod user plus, that means adding the permissions, read. For now just I'm doing read list 1. Now if you see list 1, I can read it, right? Let me see whether I can able to edit it or not, because I gave only read permissions. Gedit list 1. Let's see what happens. See, the file got opened. I am writing, trying to add something, new line. I'm trying to do control save, but it is not saving. See, it says like start. That means changes are there, but I can't save, right? That means I don't have the edit permissions. So I am trying to close it. It asks like close without saving or cancel or save as. That means save as. You can save as another file, but you can't save as a same file. Okay, because you don't have the permissions. So close without saving. Now what I do? I add permissions for execute also. Okay, updated. So once I update, let's check the how it shows for list 1. Okay, read write. Now let me try. test. See, now it can be saved. So similarly, if I want to add permissions or remove permissions, what I can do for other users, chmod. Now I want to do it for the second set of group permissions, like group. So for group, what is the character or symbol, which is G. Earlier we did U, which is user. Now we are doing G, which is a group. If I want to do it for third group, which is other. If I want to do it for all groups at a time, for that I need to do A. For example, let's see, for list 2, I'm trying to give same permissions for all. Adding permissions, that means plus wx to list 2. Now if I see for list 2, all groups has the same permissions. Okay, now I want to remove permissions for the other group. How I can do? Chmod o minus, I mean removing the permissions. I just want to keep only read permissions, but I can remove the execute and change permissions for the list 2. See, for list 2, these two permissions got removed. Same for group. What I want to do? I want to remove the permissions of execute. Okay, list 2. See, now the permissions got removed for the this group also. This is how we can change the permissions, change the file modes. Next command is zip command. So everyone, like in Windows we usually download like zip files and unzip and extract the files from those, right? So similarly in Linux, how we can do that? For example, here I have the file list1. I want to zip it, so the file size gets decreased. I'm not using big size files, but just showing example with existing files only. So gzip is the command, gzip and file. If you see, list1.gz file got created. That means file got converted into a zip file. Now if I want to extract it back, what I can do? For that one, gunzip and list1.gz. And if you do ls, see, list1 got into unzip. Okay, this is how you can zip and unzip the files directly from the command prompt. Now there is another command where we can read directly from the zip file without extracting. How we can do? Let's keep it first. Okay, now command is zcat, okay, list1.gz. See, that means without extracting we can do that. We can read the content of that particular file. So in our case, list1 is small, so the data shows here. But in some cases, the zip file consists a lot of data. So that means the terminal keeps moving. So you can't see the or read the data. So in that case, what you can do? You can combine with pipe less. So it will show some, and it's the end of the file. Basically, you can just keep reading the file. Okay, that's how zcat works. Now there is one another command which is find. That means I want to find some file name which matching to my search word. For example, here we have different files, right? Let me search for the file which contains the name file. For that, one command is find hyphen name. So here I want to find the name which matching with file at end of the file. That means start. So starting of the file can be anything, but I want to make sure that it ends with the file. See, there are two files like that. Similarly, let's try again. Find name. Now I want to find some file which starts with list and end can be anything, right? This is how you can search for the files directly. Now we explored a lot of commands. Now I want to see like what are the commands history I performed earlier, how I can see that. For that one, if you type history, it will show all the commands which we did so far, right? Up to how much? Almost like 154. Like history, we can set the history to some limit. In my case, it's a 200. How we can do that setting? Set history equal to 100. Or if I want to increase, I can make it like 300 so that history will record up to 300. Now, I want to just recall the last command. What I can do? Like two exclamatories, it shows that what is the last command we performed. Okay, next command is like, for example, so far we've seen a lot of commands, but it's hard to remember sometimes like what is the indentation to pass. We don't remember. So in those cases, what we can do is there are some online manuals in your terminal itself. So like man, okay. So that means manual. For command, if you remember the command, so you just don't remember like how, what is the use of that command. So what you can do, like for example, ls man ls, it will print what it do, list directory contents and give some descriptions and the other use cases how you can use. To quit it, you can press on Q. So similarly, there is one alternative command like what is ls. So it will just prints the omits the total information. It just shows the what actual it do, right? Now, in some cases, you may remember like what the command do. For example, move, remove, copy command. But you don't remove the you don't know the exact command how to use or what to use, right? So in those cases, how you can search for the command apropos and command. For example, copy. So it gives what are the matching commands for that one, so that you can go through. See, for example, here copy files and directory, cp is the command, so that I can use the cp. Same like I know move command, but I don't know how to use it. Like mv is the command, I don't know, but I don't remember, so I just remove know the move. So I search for that move, so that here it is move or rename files. So this how you can take the help from the manual. That's the wrap for the complete beginner tutorial. These commands are more than enough to get you started on your Linux journey. If you are eager to learn more, don't worry, I will be making another video covering advanced commands soon. Since this playlist is tailored for complete beginners, I have kept it simple and focused, so you can build a solid foundation without feeling overwhelmed. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future tutorials. See you in the next one.